Hey there, how you doing? Charlie Winters here with horse racing tips for Thursday, the 21st of November. Well, we had a cracking start, just couldn't really back it up. So we had a non-runner, which I knew about the night before. I hope you did well with the winner that I gave you. I fully understand that already, well, not already, I understand that some of you actually fancied my first selection anyway, that won at 12 to 1. So I hope you did well with it. Um, so The other two were very disappointing. They pretty much ran to how my selections normally run at Fosslas. It is a track that I try and avoid, but I did like the look of the horses. But unfortunately, only one of them run to how I thought it would do. So I'm moving on to Thursday, and I've gone with Bet365. But apart from one race, the race places remain the same. So I could have done this video a little bit later. Probably Thursday tea time because, in fact, no, I couldn't. What am I talking about? Originally, when I chose the selections, I went for the night meetings and then I went through the early races. So forget what I just said. I've gone for some early races as well. So let me stop talking this nonsense and get straight to the point. So I've gone for horse racing selections at Lingfield and Wolverhampton and Southwell. I could still be wrong there. So, as you can see, the first selection. So, what it is, it's a 5 pence each way, lucky 63. I know some of you won't like that, but I know a lot of you don't follow me exactly. So, this is what I've gone for. I've took the prices because, to be fair, I haven't got a clue if it's best odds guaranteed or whatever. But I tell you what, I don't mind the odds. I've had a look at them, and I tell you what, I'm very happy with some of them. Um, so, the first selection is Upepo or Upepo, I don't know. 8 to 1 in the 11:30 at Lingfield. So this horse is definitely interesting. It could have been accused of being a non-trier just 2 days ago. It ran in the race where the 25 to 1 went clear. I haven't really seen the race. I haven't seen all of the race. I didn't see it at the beginning. Um, I've heard about this inexperienced jockeys and whatever. Just give me a second, and personally, I think all the jockeys that finished in the placings or unplaced, um, they rode very poor races. I think that's obvious. I'm not telling you anything you don't know. I don't know what anybody else has really said about it because I've not really followed it too much, but I did see because it popped up while I was at work about there was a ring, there was a circle around the horse, and it says this one won, this 28 to 1 or won by whatever. I think it was very poor judgment by a lot of the riders, but I must say, in the defence of Upepo, well, it was a doubtful stare anyway. So you could have you could have understood the jockey wanting waiting tactics, but waiting tactics to that extent is probably a little bit extreme. So I think it was several jockeys that rode poor races and made very poor judgments. Was it a wonder ride by the rider that won the race? Not really. I think it was a combination of both. The jockey that won the race um, attempted to put the cat amongst the pigeons, um, but the place jockeys and the unplaced jockeys were fast asleep, and when they woke up, they weren't even close. The third horse, they said that the winner went 40 lengths clear. The third horse was still beaten 22 lengths anyway. Yeah, ridiculous. So anyway, Upepo at 8 to 1 in the 11:30 at Lingfield. The reason why I've gone for it is because basically it had a day out the other day, but prior to that, it was running pretty well, um, and it's back over a more sensible kind of trip. It's back over. I think it's a mile and a half tomorrow, whereas 2 mile. It was 2 mile the other day. So as I said, you can understand the waiting tactics on this horse, but they were too exaggerated. A common move's actually on it. I think it's Rob Hornby, but don't quote me. It doesn't matter who's on it, just as long as it's not the previous jockey. So anyway, yeah, Upepo at 8 to 1. The second selection is Smouldering at 10 to 1 in the 2 o'clock at Lingfield. So Smouldering, it's trained by Clive Cox. I'm quite a fan of this trainer now. So this horse, I think it's got a decent chance because I don't think it was ever really given a chance last time. So what it was, I can't remember the course it rode out, but it was drawn 9 of 9, and it was prominent and wide throughout. It won't get that trip, or it shouldn't get that trip tomorrow on Thursday because it's been dropped back a furlong and it's actually drawn 3. So if it ends up being on the wide outside, then clearly we're on a non-trier. But I think Smouldering, there is little bits of, it's a bit inconsistent. There are little bits of form that give you absolutely every chance, but it just needs to string a few decent efforts together. I think 10 to 1. Um, I do like Clive Cox as a trainer, and I think it's got a chance. The third selection is Revolution at 20 to 1 in the 235 at Lingfield. Right, I can't remember exactly about this, but it's definitely got a chance on the handicap. If this is the horse, I do you check it for yourself, but I'm sure this is the selection where it normally comes from behind, and I think it normally prefers Lingfield where it's running at tomorrow. But it has been running at other tracks, only been running okay. And I've gone back through the form and it does prefer Lingfield. I'm sure it's this horse. I may have got it confused with one of my other selections that prefers Lingfield, but no, I'm pretty sure that Revolution normally finishes well and prefers Lingfield. Take a look for yourself because I've chose 6 horses and normally I end up, well, like I did, I get confused. So the next selection is one I like a lot. Take a look at this horse. This is a very interesting one. It's beautiful Dawn, and this is the one where they're only paying first 3. I could actually back it single on the each way extras. Might be worth be interesting to see what price it is on the each way extras with Bet365, where you can actually take a shorter price, but obviously get more places. But you can only have a single on that, and it would be an each way single. So I'll leave that with you. But Beautiful Dawn, that might be one for you, Yvonne. I know you said you like backing singles, so Beautiful Dawn with Bet365 might be worth seeing how many places they're paying out to, and you might get something like, I don't know, first 5 16 to 1, something like that. So yeah, Beautiful Dawn. So if you go back, it's trained by, I believe, Derek Shaw, and straight away I can just imagine everybody going doof, doof. Well, he only seems to win on or with horses at big prices. And then once them horses at big prices come in, they then seem to rattle a bit of a bit of a run together. But this has not done that. So what this horse is, I can't remember who trained it in Ireland, but it ran 3 times. It ran okay on one occasion, and then it won on the next 2 occasions, achieving racing post rating far above its handicap mark tomorrow. So since Derek Shaw's had it, it's not done a great deal. Let's put it that way. But it's not actually ran absolute shockers when you look at the racing post ratings. They're not a million miles away from its handicap mark. And I tell you what, I did one of the big prize winners the other day. I wouldn't have, but I could have selected one of them. If you'd asked me, if you gave me, if you'd have told me there's a huge prize winner, I tell you what, I can't remember which one it was. It was it wasn't the 150 to 1 because the angle with that one was it had done absolutely nothing, but it was a first run for a new trainer. But the other angle was the other horse is similar to what I go for, although what it was I believe it had dropped down the ratings, but not too long ago it had been chucking in some nice, some okay racing post ratings, which weren't a million miles away from its handicap mark, and that is how I give horses chances. I don't go with it's got £2 in hand or it's got this, it's got that. I look for horses that are well handicapped, where they could improve, but also I think the fancied horses are a little bit vulnerable. So yeah, so Beautiful Dawn, 50 to 1. So it was running much better at Dundalk than it has done in this country. However, it's also been dropped down in trip, surprisingly enough. It's gone from a class five. Last two runs were class five. This is the class six. It's an interesting selection. I think it's running into a bit of a handicap mark where it can get very competitive. I'm just hoping tomorrow is the day, or Thursday, whenever you watch this video. So the next selection is Gunlock at 14 to 1 in the 5 o'clock at Southwell. I'll be very brief about this one. So this horse is all about being bred for the dirt or all weather. Take a look at its breeding, and there's some unbridled song in there. The unbridled song is the dam sire. The dam is is American bred, and also the sire is American bred. So it's all about the dirt and or weather. However, it hasn't had a recent run. However, you can put lines through in its most recent runs, which I think it was towards the back end of the summer. It ran, I think it was soft ground at York, and I think it was at Newcastle where it disappointed. But I think the grade was too strong for it at the time. It was a very good race it ran in, and it ran an absolute shocker. So I think what they've done is they've freshened it up, ready for an all-weather campaign. Will it be fit first time? I've got absolutely no idea. Carl Burke, decent trainer, but if he's going to get it ready for a winter campaign, it might not be fully tuned up, but it might not have to be to run well tomorrow. I think it's 14 to 1, and I think it's paying first for. The next selection is an interesting one again. It's Showtime Mahomes. I think this is a horse that runs well at No, this one's at Southwell. Forget that. So Showtime Mahomes 8 to 1 in the 8:30 at Southwell. So this selection, Grant Tour has actually got two in the race. He's also got Surprise Picture. Surprise Picture, when it runs on the all weather, is very, very close to the pace normally. So it's also led several times. So I'm thinking Surprise Picture might set the pace, force the pace, hopefully set a decent pace. And this Showtime Mahomes always comes from behind, so it could actually set the race up for Showtime Mahomes if that's the plan. I don't know if that's the plan, but it certainly could happen tomorrow. So that's it. So I've placed a 10 pence each way, look at 63. It would have been 5 pence each way, but its minimum stake is 10p unit stake at Bet365. So I would really appreciate it if you can give me a like. I'd just like to say a quick thank you for all the likes. When I last looked, it were on 93. I never get 93. And just to let you know, there was a dislike. And I'm pretty sure it's the same person, because very rare these videos get dislikes. That's not bragging, because I think they deserve. I think the videos with the lack of editing and the stumbling and the stuttering probably deserve the odd dislike. But yeah, there was a dislike nice and early. So yeah, so we're still here. We're in great company still. So anyway, I wish you the very best of luck. Charlie Winters, over and out. Cheers, mate.